Grab your bioweapons and prepare for the ultimate test of survival. Today I rank every mainline Resident Evil game ever made on a quality to quantity basis, from the heart-stopping originals to the pulse-pounding remakes. Join me as we brave the horrors of the T-Virus and uncover the best games in the Resident Evil franchise. In at number 14 is Resident Evil 6. Set in 2013 and following the events of a global bioterrorist attack by the Neo Umbrella organization, the story of Resident Evil 6 is divided into 4 campaigns, each featuring different characters with unique abilities and weapons, and taking place in various locations around the world. Resident Evil 6 introduces new gameplay mechanics such as the ability to move and shoot simultaneously and a cover system into the established RE formula. Unfortunately, it did not do as well in the eyes of the critics, ending up with a quality metric score of 42. Resident Evil 6 ultimately ends up with a total of 4.64 quality hours and finishing in the last spot. Next up at 13 is Resident Evil Code Veronica, which follows Claire Redfield, a protagonist from previous Resident Evil games, as she investigates the Umbrella Corporation and their involvement in the T-Virus outbreak. Claire is captured and imprisoned on a remote island where she discovers a new virus and must escape with the help of another prisoner named Steve Burnside. Resident Evil Codename Veronica features the traditional Resident Evil gameplay mechanics such as puzzle solving and item management, and also introduces a couple of new elements like dual wielding weapons and the ability to move while aiming. Coming in with a quality metric score of 62, Resident Evil Code Veronica finishes up with a total of 5.57 quality hours. The 12th place goes to the remake of the original Resident Evil 3 Nemesis from 1999. The Resident Evil 3 remake follows Jill Valentine, a former STARS member, as she tries to escape Raccoon City during a zombie outbreak caused by the T-Virus. Along the way, she is pursued by the bioweapon Nemesis, who is sent to eliminate all remaining STARS members. The RE3 remake updated the graphics and gameplay mechanics from the original, as well as the dodge, move and crafting systems, and also includes a new multiplayer mode called Resident Evil Resistance, where players can team up or play as a mastermind and set traps for survivors. After incorporating its quality metric score of 76.5, Resident Evil 3 Remake ends up with a total of 6.53 quality hours, and the unfortunate title of being the least impressive title in the suite of recent remakes. The original Resident Evil 2 takes out the 11th place in the rankings. Taking place in Raccoon City during the zombie outbreak caused by the T-Virus, players control either Leon S. Kennedy, a rookie police officer, or Claire Redwood, a college student searching for her brother, as they try to escape the city and uncover the truth behind the outbreak. The Resident Evil staple mechanics in puzzle solving and item management are present here, as well as some new ones such as the zapping system that allows players to experience the story from different perspectives. Combining the impressive calculated quality metric score of 89, Resident Evil 2 ends up with a total of 8.05 quality hours, barely missing out on a top 10 slot. Breaking into the top 10 is Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, with Jill Valentine's original story of escaping the zombie-overrun Raccoon City due to the unstoppable spread of the T-Virus, with the Nemesis ever in pursuit lurking around every corner. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis was the title to introduce the dodge move mechanic, as well as branching story paths into the then established Resident Evil formula. With a mighty quality rating of 91, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis makes out with a total of 8.14 heart in your throat quality hours. The one that started it all off, the OG Resident Evil, finds its way into 9th place. Released back in 1996 for the PlayStation, it's set in a mansion near Raccoon City, where a team of elite police officers called STARS investigate a series of murders. The team soon discovers that the mansion is infested with zombies and other bioorganic weapons created by the Umbrella Corporation. Controlling either Chris Redfield or Jill Valentine, players explore the mansion, solve puzzles and battle monsters to uncover the truth behind the outbreak. Resident Evil has a quality metric score of 91 and consequentially features a total of 8.28 quality hours. In the 8th place is Resident Evil Revelations 2, featuring a dual campaign setup, one of which follows Claire Redfield and Moira Burton, the daughter of Barry Burton, as they try to escape an island filled with bioweapons created by the Umbrella Corporation. The second campaign follows Barry Burton and a mysterious girl named Natalia Corda as they search for the missing Claire and Moira. Resident Evil 2 Revelations tried to shake things up by introducing a raid mode, where players can fight through various stages and earn points to unlock new weapons and abilities. Containing the most content of the Resident Evil titles with an average of 20.83 hours and a less impressive calculated quality metric score of 64, Revelations 2 ends up with a total of 8.33 quality hours, beating out some of the objectively better titles to finish up in the 8th slot. At number 7 is Resident Evil 0, released in 2002 for the Nintendo GameCube and is a prequel to the original Resident Evil game. Resident Evil 0 follows two protagonists, Rebecca Chambers and Billy Cohen, as they explore a train and nearby facilities while trying to uncover the origin of the T-virus outbreak. Unlike previous games in the series, players can switch between controlling Rebecca and Billy at any time and must manage their inventories separately. The game also features a partner zapping system that allows players to control both characters simultaneously and solve puzzles that requires teamwork. Resident Evil 0 receives a quality rating of 83 and features 12.1 hours of content, resulting in a total of 8.38 quality hours, finishing smack bang in the middle of the pack. Resident Evil Revelations finds its spot in 6th place, with the plot unfolding between Resident Evil 4 and 5 and follows the series protagonists Jill Valentine and Chris Redfield as they investigate a bioterrorist organization called Veltro. Featuring the traditional Resident Evil gameplay mechanics and also introducing a scanning device called the Genesis, which can detect hidden objects and enemies. Like within its sequel covered earlier, Revelation also sports an episodic structure, with players switching between different characters and locations as the story unfolds. With a total of 18.5 hours of gameplay to see the credits roll, as well as a good quality score of 70, Resident Evil Revelations ends up with 9.07 quality hours, claiming its spot in 6th place overall. Arguably the turning point for the modernization of the franchise, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard finds its place at number 5. Released in 2017 for multiple platforms and is set in Louisiana, where players control Ethan Winters, a man searching for his missing wife in a derelict plantation mansion. Players play as a new protagonist in a new setting with a fresh perspective and gameplay mechanics compared to previous Resident Evil games. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard features an overhauled crafting system that allows players to create items from resources found in the environment. Resident Evil 7 contains roughly 15.1 hours worth of content and nets a quality metric score of 88, seeing it post a very respectable 11.74 quality hours to earn the number 5 next to its name. The 4th place goes to Resident Evil 5. Released in 2009 for multiple platforms and set in Africa, players control series protagonist Chris Redfield as he investigates a bioterrorist threat. Featuring cooperative gameplay mechanics, players are able to play through the entire game partnered with an AI companion or a human partner online. Resident Evil 5 features a new inventory system and a cover-based shooting mechanic that replaces the tank controls of previous games in the series. Featuring roughly 20.67 hours of total content and scoring an average of 84 from critics at the time of release, Resident Evil 5 ends up with 14.58 quality hours, only barely missing out on one of the top 3 slots. The original of the remake launching next week in Resident Evil 4 finishes in 3rd place, following protagonist Leon S. Kennedy as he investigates the disappearance of the president's daughter in a rural village in Spain. Featuring new gameplay style with an over-the-shoulder camera and more action-oriented gameplay mechanics compared to previous Resident Evil games, it also features a new merchant system that allows players to buy and upgrade weapons and items. A massive critical and commercial success at the time, with praise for its graphics, gameplay mechanics and atmosphere, It is often considered one of the best games in the Resident Evil series and has influenced numerous other action games. Resident Evil 4 receives a quality rating of 82 and features 22 hours of content, resulting in a total of 14.79 quality hours to cement its place on the RE podium. Just shy of taking the crown itself is Resident Evil Village, finishing in second place. Set in a mysterious European village where players control Ethan Winters as he searches for his kidnapped daughter, it features a variety of new enemies, including werewolves and vampires. Resident Evil Village also adopted the merchant mechanic from RE4 with purchasable items and upgrades. The game received positive reviews upon release with praise for its graphics and ominous atmosphere. Resident Evil Village has a quality metric score of 88 and in combination with the total gameplay on offer earns the second place with a total of 14.94 quality hours. Numero uno, the head honcho, the evilest of all the residents, is the Resident Evil 2 Remake. Released in 2019 for multiple platforms, it follows Leon S. Kennedy and Claire Redfield as they navigate a zombie outbreak in Raccoon City. With updated graphics and gameplay mechanics, including a new over-the-shoulder camera perspective and improved combat mechanics, Resident Evil 2 Remake also adopted the zapping system, allowing players to play through the game as either character and experience different story paths and scenarios. Receiving critical acclaim at release, with praise for its graphics, gameplay mechanics, and faithful adaptation of the original game story and setting. Resident Evil 2 Remake dominates all of its sibling titles with a quality rating of 94.5 and blows away all would-be challengers with a total of 17.1 quality hours to win the title of the best Resident Evil game ever made or remade on a quality to quantity basis. Thank you so much for watching, I appreciate you all. So what did you think of the rankings? Do you agree? Let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and I hope to see you all again soon.